Prediction market site Kalshi has fined and suspended from its site 3 political candidates for political insider trading. CBS News confirmed the 3 candidates were running for federal office, and the announcement coincides with politicians on both sides of the aisle raising concerns about the rise of prediction markets and the role they could play in influencing future elections. Marks the second time the prediction site has announced some sort of enforcement action along these lines. Joining us now is CBS News senior business and tech correspondent Jo Ling Kent. I know we can't get enough of talking about these prediction markets. They're really becoming ubiquitous. Can you talk to us more about who these candidates are and what they were doing?
Yeah, these are 3 candidates who are running for office, and essentially Kalshi says that they were placing bets with insider information about their own campaigns. Now, what's interesting here is that they have suspended all 5 of these individuals. They've all been fined. 2 of the candidates received relatively minor sub-$1,000 fines that they need to pay. But there is one individual, Mark Moran, a former Virginia Democratic primary candidate who's now running as an independent. And he was fined significantly more, several $1,000s. And essentially what happened here is Kalshi tells us the reason he was fined more is that they initiated contact with him, and then he was suddenly unwilling to participate and communicate, answer their requests, and come to basically an agreement about what happened. Then, after this was announced and we started posting on social media about it, we then got a response from Moran himself. And he said, and I'm just reading from his tweet here, he did bet about $100 on himself, on Kalshi, because he wanted, in his words, to get caught, saying that too many people are taking advantage of Kalshi, that it is a situation where, you know, a lot of people could take advantage and potentially encounter these insider tradings, that he was sort of pushing the limits, trying to say, to see how, if Kalshi could catch him. And so when we went back to Kalshi and asked them about this, you know, they certainly said that these are the facts as they know them. And if you scroll back in Moran's social media history, he does have a history of being more bullish on these prediction markets, saying, why wouldn't I bet on information that I had to capitalize on that? So it's an open question as to whose side is actually true in this particular case. But what we do know is it's yet another example of people having information and putting it to work on a prediction market platform. And then you see now increasing enforcement actions by Kalshi as they've been trying to ramp up these efforts.
But what about Congress? I mean, we're seeing Kalshi sort of police itself. Are we seeing any legislators who are interested in regulating some of this?
Yeah, there are legislators who are definitely interested in proposing legislation to regulate these prediction markets and to put these, you know, firm red lines into place. But right now, if you look at the regulatory body that is in charge of policing these prediction markets, it's the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. And if you look at the inside of the CFTC right now, that body does not have as many people as it used to when it comes to enforcing the laws, the rules, and the regulations when it comes to these very fast-moving and fast-growing platforms like Kalshi and Polymarket. So this administration, as we have long reported, has taken a very light touch approach to allowing Kalshi, Polymarket, and other prediction markets to thrive. And you also have some interesting connections as well directly to the president. One of the president's sons, Donald Trump Jr., is a paid advisor for Kalshi. We've asked the founders of this company, you know, why that's the case, what kind of advice he gives. And they say he's just one of many advisors that they have. So a lot of open questions as to how much these platforms will actually be regulated.
This is crazy. Jo Ling Kent, thank you so much for jumping on this.